The council chamber floated above a pale blue star, wide and silent, shaped like a ring of glass and metal. Delegates from many worlds sat in curved rows, their bodies different in shape and size, their faces tight with worry. Screens around the chamber showed old treaty symbols, now cracked and faded. Everyone in the room knew the truth, even if no one wanted to say it out loud. The treaty had been broken, and this time it was not humanity that had broken it. For years, the treaty had kept balance. It stopped large empires from swallowing small systems. It set limits on weapons and borders. Humans had signed it later than others, but when they did, they followed it carefully. Some even mocked them for it. Humans were called slow, emotional, and easy to pressure. That belief now hung in the air, waiting to be tested. A low tone echoed through the chamber as the council speaker announced new arrivals. Many delegates expected angry messages, threats, or demands. Some expected silence, thinking humans would argue among themselves before acting. Instead, a single human vessel appeared on the main screen. It was small, clean in design, and unarmed. Murmurs spread. Only one ship. The vessel docked without delay. A short time later, the chamber doors opened. 3 humans entered. The first was Jay. He walked at a steady pace, hands relaxed at his sides. His dark suit was plain, with no medals or bright marks. His face showed no anger, no fear, only focus. Behind him walked Hana and Yura. Hana carried a thin data slate. Yura watched the room closely, her eyes calm but alert. A 4th human, Day, remained near the door, quiet and watchful. The chamber grew still. Some delegates leaned forward. Others leaned back, uneasy. This was not what they expected. J stopped at the center platform. He did not raise his voice. He spoke simply. "Humanity acknowledges that the treaty has been violated," he said. "We are here to respond." That was all. The words were soft, but they landed heavily. No apology. No request for discussion. Just a statement of fact. The council speaker shifted. "You claim violation," it said carefully. "Evidence must." Hana stepped forward. With a single motion, she activated the slate. Screens around the chamber lit up. Data flowed. Images of damaged colonies. Trade routes blocked. Defense platforms placed inside protected zones. Timestamps stretched back years. "This is not recent," Hana said, her voice clear. "This began slowly. Small actions. Testing limits. We recorded everything." Some delegates protested at once. Others stayed silent, their expressions tightening. Jay waited. He did not interrupt. When the noise settled, he spoke again. "We are not here to debate the past," he said. "We are here because the future has reached a breaking point." Yura stepped forward now. "Human analysts studied council behavior for decades," she said. "We noticed patterns, delays, deflection, silence after harm. These patterns told us the treaty was already dying." The words stung more than threats. A tall delegate demanded, "If humans knew, why did you not act sooner?" Jay looked directly at the speaker. "Because the treaty mattered," he said. "We hoped restraint would be respected." There was a pause. Then he added, "It was not." That sentence changed the room. Some delegates felt it then, a quiet fear. Humans were not here to argue language or terms. They were here because they believed the system itself had failed. The council speaker asked, "Why send a diplomat and not a fleet?" Jay answered without hesitation. "Because fleets are for enforcement," he said. "This meeting is for clarity." That answer caused new whispers. Day capped his wrist device. A subtle signal passed between the humans. None of the aliens noticed at first, but a few systems on the council display updated quietly. Trade routes shifted. Defense maps changed color. Humans were already moving. J continued. We did not come to threaten this council. We came to tell you that humanity has finished waiting. A delegate laughed nervously. You expect us to believe one species can enforce peace across systems? Jay turned slightly, meeting the sound. No, he said. We expect you to believe that you no longer control the outcome. Silence fell. Hannah brought up another display. This one showed human ships, not clustered, not aggressive, but spread across former treaty zones. They shielded refugee routes. They blocked weapon transfers. They did not fire. They are defensive, Hannah said. They always were. The council speaker lowered its voice. What does humanity want? Jay did not answer right away. He looked around the chamber at the delegates who had signed the treaty and then broken it when it became inconvenient. He spoke slowly. Humanity wants stability. He said, we want the damage undone. We want safety for those who trusted this council. And if we refuse? A voice asked. Jay nodded once, as if the question was expected. Then humanity will still act, he said. Just without your agreement. That was not a threat. It was a conclusion. Yura watched reactions ripple through the room. Some delegates looked angry. Some looked tired. A few looked relieved, as if someone else was finally taking responsibility. The council speaker said, You have not presented terms. Jay met its gaze. Not yet, he said. Today is not for negotiation. Today is for understanding. He took a breath. The treaty is over, Jay said. What comes next will be decided by actions, not words. The humans turned and began to walk back toward the doors. Panic stirred. Wait, the speaker called. You cannot leave without... Jay stopped, but did not turn around. We will return, he said, when the council is ready to listen. The doors closed behind them. The chamber remained silent long after they were gone. Only one truth remained, heavy and clear. Humanity had arrived not to ask for peace, but to define it. The human vessel moved away from the council station in silence. From the outside, it looked calm, almost harmless, drifting against the glow of the blue star. Inside, the mood was focused, not tense, but heavy with purpose. Jay stood near the main window, hands behind his back. He watched the station grow smaller. He did not feel relief. He felt responsibility. What had been said inside the chamber could not be taken back. Humanity had stepped forward, and now the galaxy would react. Hannah broke the quiet. Council channels are active, she said. They are arguing. Some want to call us back. Others want to delay. Jay nodded. They always delay, he said. Yura looked up from her console. Several factions are already sending private messages, she said. They want exceptions. Quiet deals. Jay's voice stayed calm. No private deals, he said. That era ended with the treaty. Day shifted near the doorway. Outer Fleet reports no hostile movement, he said. But there is fear. A lot of it. Fear was expected. Humans had learned long ago that fear came before anger, and anger came before mistakes. As the ship entered steady travel, Hannah projected a large display into the air. It showed years of records, timelines, patterns. This is what they never saw, she said, or chose not to see. The display shifted. At first, the treaty zones were clean and stable. Trade flowed. Borders stayed fixed. Then small changes appeared. A defense station here, a patrol route there. Nothing large enough to trigger a formal complaint. They tested the edges, Yura said. Not the center. Jay watched quietly. Hannah continued. Each time a line was crossed, humans filed reports. We requested investigation. We were told to wait. The display showed replies from the council. Polite words. Long delays. No action. While they delayed, Hana said, colonies burned. Images appeared. Broken cities. Evacuation ships overloaded. Small species fleeing worlds they had lived on for centuries. Day clenched his jaw. Jay closed his eyes for a brief moment, then opened them again. This is why we waited, he said. We needed certainty, not anger. Yura turned to him. And now we have both, she said softly. The ship received a secure signal. Hana checked it, then looked at Jay. First Council response, she said. They want clarification. They say the treaty still exists. Jay shook his head. The treaty exists only if it is obeyed, he said. They broke it. Not us. He turned toward the crew. Prepare the next phase, he said. Across human-controlled space, quiet orders activated. Fleets adjusted position. Supply lines shifted. Relief ships moved closer to damaged systems. No announcements were made. No threats were sent. Humans acted. Back at the council station, tension grew. Delegates argued openly now. Some blamed each other. Some blamed humanity. A few looked at the evidence again and felt something worse than fear. Shame. One delegate spoke softly to another. They knew, it said. They always knew. The council speaker called for order, but its voice lacked strength. Meanwhile, Jay reviewed reports from the outer systems. Human ships had entered former treaty zones. They did not fire on alien forces. Instead, they cut off power to illegal weapons. They escorted civilian vessels to safety. Minimal resistance, Day reported. Most forces are withdrawing because they know they cannot win. Yura said. Jay corrected her gently. Because they know we are not here to conquer, he said. That matters. Hana looked at him. Not to everyone, she said. Jay nodded. No, but enough. A second message arrived from the council. This one was different. The tone was sharper. They accuse us of overreach, Hana said. They say enforcement was never granted to humanity. Jay allowed himself a small, tired smile. Enforcement was granted to the treaty, he said. They removed it. Yura leaned back. They still think this is a negotiation, she said. It will be, Jay replied. But not today? He walked to the center of the bridge. Send a response, he said. Short. Hana typed. The message was simple. Humanity will present final conditions when civilian. Harm has ended. No more words. The reply caused shock inside the council chamber. Some delegates demanded immediate talks. Others panicked as reports arrived of human ships stabilizing regions the council had ignored for years. They are replacing us, one delegate said. No, another answered. They are doing our job. Time passed. In the following days, the galaxy shifted quietly. Markets reacted. Independent systems sent thanks. Refugees found safe passage under human protection. Jay watched the reports late into the ship's night cycle. He did not celebrate. Yura joined him. You knew this would happen, she said. I hoped it would not, Jay replied. Hope does not change reality. She studied him. When you present the conditions, she asked, will they accept them? Jay looked out at the stars. Some will, he said. Some will not. And the ones who refuse? Jay answered honestly. They will learn that silence was their last chance. The ship adjusted course. Turning back toward the council station, humanity was done waiting. The next meeting would not be about blame. It would be about consequences. The council chamber felt smaller when the human ship returned. The same ring of glass and metal floated above the star, but now the calm order was gone. Delegates spoke in low, sharp voices. Some had not slept. Data screens showed constant updates from across the galaxy, many of them marked with human symbols. When the doors opened again, Silence spread fast. J entered first, followed by Hana and Yara. They remained near the entrance, as before. Nothing about the humans had changed, yet everything felt different. This time, the council knew they were not observers. They were the focus. J stepped onto the platform. "We are ready to speak," he said. No greeting. No delay. The council speaker reacted at once. "Your forces have entered restricted zones," it said. "You act without approval." J nodded once. "Approval was tied to the treaty," he said. "The treaty was broken." A delegate struck its surface in anger. "You cannot decide this alone." J looked at it calmly. "We did not," he said. "You did. Years ago." Hana activated the central display. It showed a timeline, but this one was shorter. "Only recent days, since our last meeting," she said. "Civilian attacks have dropped by 40% in former treaty zones. Refugee movement has stabilized. Trade lanes are open." The numbers were clear. Yura spoke next. "Human ships did not fire unless fired upon," she said. "Most resistance ended when power systems were disabled." A quiet fear spread through the room. Not fear of violence, but of control. The council speaker asked, "Why show us this?" Jay answered, "Because results matter more than authority." A long pause followed. Then the speaker said, "You claimed final conditions." "Yes," Jay replied. "We will state them now." Every sound stopped. Jay spoke slowly, clearly, as if every word had weight. "First," he said, "all forces must withdraw from protected systems within one standard cycle." Murmurs rose. "Second," he continued, "all damaged colonies must receive full material support for rebuilding. Not charity, responsibility." Several delegates reacted with disbelief. "Third," Jay said, "leaders who ordered or hid treaty violations will face open review." That caused outrage. "You want control," a delegate shouted. "No," Jay replied. "We want accountability." Hana added, "Human investigators will work with neutral observers. All records must be opened." Some delegates went still. Others looked away. Yura stepped forward. "Humans studied your cultures," she said. "We know pride matters. That fear of shame drives many decisions." She paused. "This process protects civilians and gives leaders a chance to answer openly," she said. "Refusal will be taken as admission." Anger filled the chamber. "You threaten us with isolation," a voice said. Jay nodded. "Yes," he said simply. He raised his hand slightly, and Hana brought up a final display. It showed trade routes, energy exchanges, medical supply lines, all connected to human systems, Hana said. "Access will be limited to those who accept the conditions." The council speaker's voice dropped. "You would fracture the galaxy." Jay answered, "It is already fractured. We are containing the damage." Silence followed, and a smaller delegate spoke, voice shaking. "If we agree, what becomes of us?" Jay turned toward it. "You become partners," he said. "Not rulers, not victims." Another delegate laughed bitterly. "And if we refuse?" Jay's tone did not change. "Then humanity will protect those you abandon," he said. "And history will remember why." That struck harder than any weapon. The council requested recess. Jay agreed. As delegates withdrew, the humans waited. Yura exhaled slowly. "They did not expect clarity," she said. "They expected compromise," Hana replied. Jay shook his head. "They expected time," he said. "We removed it." Messages arrived during the recess. Some factions signaled acceptance. Others warned of resistance. They checked his console. "One fleet is refusing withdrawal," he said. Jay nodded. "Monitor only," he said. "Do not engage unless civilians are threatened." The recess ended. Delegates returned, changed. Some looked defeated, some angry, a few thoughtful. The council speaker spoke carefully. Several factions accept your conditions in principle, it said. Others request delay. Jay answered. Delay is refusal, he said. That settled it. One by one, representatives activated agreement markers. Not all. Those who did not sat silent. Jay looked at them. You still have time, he said. But not much. The meeting ended without ceremony. As the humans left, Yura glanced back at the chamber. They will test us again, she said. Yes, Jay replied. But now they know the cost. Outside, the human ship waited. The galaxy was changing, and humanity was no longer asking permission. The council chamber did not empty after the meeting ended. Groups formed in corners, voices low and sharp. Some delegates argued. Some stared at the displays, watching human symbols spread across systems once ignored. The balance they had controlled for generations was slipping from their grasp. Far from the station, the human ship moved into a holding position. It stayed just outside weapon range, steady and patient. Inside, Jay studied the latest reports. He did not rush. Every decision now carried weight far beyond this moment. Hana spoke first. 3 factions have signed fully, she said. 2 more are complying in stages. 1 has refused all terms. Day looked up. The refusing faction is moving ships toward a populated system, he said. They are calling it a security exercise. Yura's jaw tightened. It is a test, she said. They want to see if we will act. Jay nodded slowly. Then we answer, he said. But we answer carefully. He gave a short command. Deploy shield lines around the system. Do not cross their borders. Block weapons only. Orders moved faster than sound. Human ships arrived around the threatened system in quiet formation. They did not aim weapons. Instead, wide energy fields spread, cutting signal access to heavy arms. Missile bays went dark. Power levels dropped. The alien fleet hesitated. They are requesting explanation. Day reported. Jay did not smile. Send them the treaty clause they ignored, he said. The message was sent. Across the galaxy, others were watching. Independent systems. Small worlds that had suffered in silence. They saw human ships act without destruction. They saw civilians protected instead of used. Hope spread where fear once ruled. Back in the council chamber, alarms sounded as reports arrived. They have neutralized our fleet without firing. A delegate said in disbelief. Another whispered, we cannot fight this. The council speaker demanded contact. J appeared on the central display. Calm and clear. You are endangering civilians, he said. Stand down. A voice answered, harsh and proud. You overstep. This system is ours. Jay responded, it was protected under the treaty you signed. Silence followed. Then the alien fleet withdrew. No battle. No victory speech. Just control. Yura released a slow breath. That will be remembered, she said. Yes, Jay replied. By everyone. As days passed, the effects of the new order became clear. Human monitoring teams arrived in damaged systems. Supplies flowed. Rebuilding began. Not fast, not perfect, but real. Hannah reviewed reports from refugees now returning home. They trust us, she said quietly. Jay looked tired for the first time. Trust is heavy, he said. It must be carried carefully. Another council message arrived. This one was different. The tone was subdued. They request guidance, Hannah said, on how to comply fully. Jay closed his eyes for a moment. The anger he carried had never been loud, but it was deep. Still, he answered evenly. We will help, he said. Compliance is not punishment. Yura studied him. Some will call this human rule, she said. Jay met her gaze. Then they misunderstand us, he said. We are not rulers. We are limits. The council reconvened days later. This time, the chamber felt different, quieter, smaller. Somehow delegates spoke with care. Accusations were replaced by questions. Pride softened into caution. J addressed them again. Peace does not survive on promises, he said. It survives on action and consequence. He gestured to the displays showing rebuilt cities and stabilized systems. This is what enforcement looks like, he said. Not conquest, not fear. One delegate stood slowly. And when humanity fails? It asked. J did not avoid the question. Then you'll hold us accountable, he said, openly. That answer unsettled many. After the session, the humans prepared to leave. They checked fleet status. No hostile movement, he said. The refusing faction is silent. Silence can be progress, Yura said. As the ship pulled away. Jay watched the council station fade into the star's glow. We did not win, Hana said softly. No, Jay agreed. We stabilized. He turned back to his team. And stability must be defended every day. The galaxy was quieter now, but not at peace. Not yet. Humanity had stepped into the space between order and chaos, and it would not step back. Time moved differently after enforcement began. Not faster, not slower, but heavier. Every action carried memory now. Across the galaxy, systems adjusted to the new reality. Some welcomed it. Some resisted quietly. But none could ignore it. The council chamber met again weeks later. Fewer voices spoke. Fewer screens flashed warnings. The room felt older, as if it had aged in a short time. Jay stood once more at the center. He looked the same, but the weight on his shoulders had grown. Hana and Yura stood beside him. Day waited near the door, alert as always. The council speaker addressed the room. Compliance reports are complete, it said. Most factions have accepted the conditions. A pause followed. Some have not, it added. Jay nodded. We know, he said. Hana raised a display. It showed systems now isolated from shared trade and travel. No battles. No blockades. Just separation. They chose isolation, Hana said. We did not force it. A delegate spoke, voice low. Their worlds will suffer. Jay answered calmly. They were already suffering others, he said. This is consequence, not revenge. Silence followed. Yura stepped forward. Human teams will continue aid in compliance systems, she said. Monitoring will remain open. All reports will be shared. A smaller delegate asked, for how long? Jay replied, as long as it is needed. That answer unsettled many. After the session, the humans returned to their ship. It moved slowly away from the station, not in retreat, but in transition. On the bridge, reports flowed steadily. Rebuilding progress. Refugee returns. Cultural exchanges beginning where fear once blocked them. Hana smiled faintly at one report. A school reopened, she said, on a world abandoned during the first violations. Jay allowed himself a moment of quiet satisfaction. Day spoke next. The isolated faction has sent a message, he said. They request talks. Jay considered this. They had their chance, he said. But we will listen. Yura studied him. You still believe in them, she said. I believe in people, Jay replied. Systems fail. People learn. The message was brief. Apologies without excuses. Acceptance without pride. Jay sent a simple reply. Humanity will meet you when civilians are safe. Days later, human and alien ships met at the edge of neutral space. No weapons were powered. No banners flown. Talks began. Back in human space, leaders watched quietly. There were no celebrations. No speeches. Humanity did not mark victory with noise, because this was not victory. It was duty. Weeks turned into months. The galaxy grew steadier. Not peaceful everywhere, but predictable. Safer. The Council adapted. New rules formed. Oversight expanded beyond one species. Humanity stepped back slightly, not leaving, but allowing others to share responsibility. One evening, Jay stood alone by the observation window. Stars stretched endlessly before him. Yura joined him. "Do you think they understand now?" she asked. Jay thought carefully. "Some do," he said. "Some never will. And if they betray trust again?" Jay answered without hesitation. "Then we respond again." Hannah approached, holding the final report. "Casualties across treaty space are at their lowest in decades," she said. Jay closed his eyes briefly. "That is enough," he said. The ship changed course, heading away from the Council station. Behind them, a galaxy adjusted to a new truth. Humanity was not the strongest by size, nor the oldest by history. But when lines were crossed, when promises were broken, when silence protected harm, humanity acted. Not with rage, not with pride, but with planning, patience, and resolve. The treaty had failed. Humanity had not, and the stars would remember that lesson for a very long time.